This short video should help you learn to calculate a recipe for formula mixing when you need to use infant formula powder. Be sure to check your PowerPoint for the steps to use. The first step is to determine the volume you'll need, then the calories, then how much formula is needed, then round, determine displacement, subtract a displacement to figure out how much water you'll need, and finally check your math. In this example, I have Enfamil Premium Infant with Iron, and you're directed to use powder to concentrate to 27 calories per ounce. This patient is getting 90 mLs or 3 ounces every 3 hours. First, determine your volume. So 90 mLs times 8 feedings per day, that's every 3 hours, gives you 720 milliliters. To convert milliliters to ounces, you divide by 30, because there are about 29.6 mils in an ounce, and you determine that there are 24 ounces of formula needed. Next, determine your calories. Take your 24 ounces of needed formula times your order, 27 calories per ounce, and you will need a total of 648 calories. Next, use your children's book. Go to the appropriate page, I believe it's 133 in the new book, 113 in the old, and determine for the Enfamil Premium Infant how many calories per scoop. In this case, there are 44. So we divide by 44 calories per scoop to get the number of scoops that we're going to need. It turns out that's about 14.7, and you're going to round that to 15 scoops. Next, you need to determine your displacement. So take your 15 scoops, determine how many grams of powder are in that. You'll use your children's book and determine that there's 8.8 grams per scoop. That gives you 132 grams of powder, and the displacement rate is 0.76 grams or mils per gram of displacement. This 132 times 0.76 means you're going to displace about 100 mils. The water level is going to go up by 100 when you add the 15. So if the total volume you need, back up to the top, is 720 mils, you will subtract the 100 mils of displacement to determine how much water to add. That gives you 620 mils. You can convert that to ounces by dividing by 30, and that 600 mils gives you about 20.7 ounces, and you could either round that down to 20.5 or up to 21. In this case, I round to 21 ounces, so my recipe is, let's go back up, 15 scoops plus 21 ounces of water. To make sure I did it right, I do a back calculation step. So to back calculate, I take my 15 scoops times 44 calories per scoop. I have a total calorie of 660. Then I take my 21 ounces of water, which is the same as 630 mils, plus my 100 mils of a displacement, which means my final volume will be 730 mils, and I set up a proportion. If I have 660 calories and 730 mils, then how many calories do I have in 30 mils, which is an ounce? When you cross multiply, solve for x, and you find you have 27.1 calories per ounce, which means this recipe is correct.